Ladies and gentlemen,
they want war. Crime babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe, people subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day in every clue. Don't let it go, it's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep, leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and I feel we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die, you voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers. Cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in a way that's subtle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TVs whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't tear, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't steer. And like an ab, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war.
Alrighty. Check it out, y'all. You know, these are trying times, and you know, I don't know if this Ghislaine Maxwell thing is like an omen, a wake-up call for Americans. I believe it is. I believe it's at the center of what is going on right now in the USA. I don't think it's an accident that she's taking up so much space right now. It could only be because she is so relevant to the times we're living in. And what does that suggest? Espionage, powerful men, foreign gangs, mafias, mixing in with political elite in the U.S., mixing in with others, just the rich, the powerful, and the elitists and the criminals, people that really have no law to follow. And it could not be plainer to see than someone who tells victims, we own the police, we own the DA, we own the FBI. And think about who was in the DA's office in Florida when she said this. Guess who was who was in the Florida DA's office? A prosecutor by the name of Pam Bondi. Yeah. She was also talking about her too. We own you. See, she said that the organization that Pam Bondi works for, headed up by Acostas, is owned by sex traffickers, is owned by basically a criminal operation, likely full of espionage. I mean, when they say they own you, what do they own you for? What do they need to own? That means everything, all criminal activity, any criminal activity that they were involved in, they didn't have to worry about because they own the police in that state. They own the DA in that state. They own the FBI in that state. And Pam Bondi was a part of those people she was talking about. Yes, Pam Bondi, Acostas, and those people are linked to the hip of Donald Trump. They got promotions. Donald Trump got a promotion from this point in Florida to becoming the damn president. Nothing happened. What the one Epstein died, he could never testify. And people thought that his secrets died with him. They thought, oh, you know what? Donald Trump arrests Epstein. Yeah, he gets arrested. They seize all of the information, all the files, allegedly all. We don't know. They seize what we can know about, what the FBI could find out, what Donald Trump could know, what his best police could find. They seized it. Epstein dies. He never faces trial. He never testifies. He actually thought he was getting off because he's part of that group that was like, we own the police, we own the DA, we own the FBI. I mean, imagine the guy that he's hanging out with, that he likely, supported in becoming president. I wonder how much money Epstein gave Trump to be president, by the way. Did he? I'm not sure, but he definitely would have benefited from Trump's tax breaks. That's for sure. But in any case, it's his best friend for 15 years becomes president, right? And when you say we own, I mean, was Trump part of that? Were they talking about they own Trump too? Were they speaking about that? I mean, or was Trump a person that is like, yeah, they own, we own? Was Trump part of the we? Was Trump part of the we? What do you think? I mean, the way Trump is running his ass shitless over this, to me, implies he was part of the we. His trajectory since then tells me that he was part of the we, because, if you own something, that thing works for you. It gets something done for you. It doesn't prosecute you. It doesn't harm you. It doesn't stop you. Has the Supreme Court stopped Trump from being president? No. Did the FBI stop Trump from being president? No. Did Congress stop Trump from being the president? No. So to me, this means this is like a merger. Like Trump knows more. And it's just, to me, it's just my opinion. Hey, what do I know? I'm just a person that spits it how I see it. You see what I'm saying? I speak my own mind. That's why I'm here, to speak my mind. And, again, I could be wrong, but I have a pretty good life and a pretty good record of being right. Staying ahead of the curve. You see what I mean? Staying ahead of the bullshit when I see it. I call it like I call it. And, for some reason, it seems like Trump is running rapidly scared. Now, if you think about all the shit that's going on surrounding this, there's a midterm election coming up. What would you do with a midterm election? You would elect Congress people, 2026, by the way, November. You would elect Congress people. You would elect senators. And what could you do if you had a whole lot of support behind you politically during that period, during that election? Well, if you have the majority of the Congress and you got 2/3 of the Senate, that's like 67 seats. If you got 67 seats of the Senate, hey, you can impeach a whole lot of judges. You could impeach a whole lot of presidents, vice presidents. You could pretty much have a Friday 13th massacre. You could set the slate clean. You could get rid of all the dirt. You could get rid of all the pedophiles. You could get rid of all the people connected to the pedophiles, to the extortion. You could get rid of all of that. You could get some mandated federal health care. You could get some mandated federal school education relief, student debt relief. You could get a lot done in a midterm election, more than you can get done in a presidential election. I mean, of course, Trump, if you want to do things the classic way, the American way, right? Of course, Trump, you could say, hey, let me be a president that just relies on corruption. Let me write executive orders and hope that my corrupt Supreme Court justices break the law or rewrite history or come with erroneous rulings. You could do that. That's very ingenious if you own the police, if you own the DA, if you own the FBI, if you own, the Supreme Court. Yeah, I could see you going that way, that the corrupt way. But there's another avenue, just in case you're not a rapist or a pedophile or an extortionist or a treasonist. There's another avenue. That's an avenue that's for just everyday average American citizens. And that is, you can vote in the midterm elections and get any goddamn thing you want, because you can set the slate clean. You can impeach corrupt judges. You can impeach the president if he's corrupt. You can impeach any vice president. You can impeach anyone around the person. Anybody involved with corruption, you can impeach them. You hold trials, you can impeach. And by the way, it could be one day. It could be one day. You see what I mean? It doesn't have to take months and months and months and months and months like it's been taking, like it seems to take a lot of other times. But in any case, what are they doing to stop this? What are they doing? I mean, Trump knows these midterm elections could finish him. His popularity, Trump's popularity is lower. It's lower than it's ever been before. Trump's popularity? Look at this shit. Trump's popularity is just, it's low. The man is on his way out. He's on his way out. He knows this. Of course, Trump is the big, bad, tough guy. He's never going to tell you he's sinking. He's never going to tell you his ankles are weak. You know what I mean? He's never going to tell you his blood is not flowing too well through his body. They're never going to tell you that because they want to sell an image of infallible, strong Superman, man of steel, right? Teflon Don is what is called in the mafia world, right? Put on your suit, walk out there in the street with your smart attitude, commit all the crimes you want and just walk away scot-free. But midterm elections can make sure you don't walk away scot-free, and no one else associated with you, a part of any crime, can walk away with you scot-free. Midterm elections can do that. So Trump knows that. So he's clamoring. Republicans are willing to gerrymander. They're willing to stop that moment from happening because they are seriously freaking scared. They're seriously freaking out over this, and, they even sent the number 2 deputy of the DOJ to go meet with who? Ghislaine Maxwell. The woman who holds the key to Trump's future. The woman that is so important to Trump. She's more important than Israel and Palestine, Ukraine and Russia. She's more important than you having warning systems for natural disasters. Ghislaine Maxwell got more attention from Trump than any American citizen that is alive today. This woman got the queen treatment. He went there, made sure that she gets a soft little pillow, right? Because she got the dirt. She knows it. She said it herself. She said it herself out of her own mouth to these victims. And these are her words. They're not my words. They're not, these are her words.
None of the victims today have been informed about the facts that Maxwell was moved. And that, is another just kind of slap in the face. It's also, I think, really important. There's an element of re-traumatization here. Because one of the things that Maxwell in particular did so effectively is she would taunt these victims and she would say, or people that would be in a position to know things, and she would say, you can't do anything because we own the police, we own the FBI, we own the district attorney's office. And so that had a really chilling effect on people that may have been inclined to come forward. And this situation.
Yeah, she says she owns. And look, if you own the police, if you own the DA, if you own the FBI, then they also own you. You're just a piece of meat. If you live in that part of town or that state that they own, or even in the country, you're just a piece of meat to be owned. You're just as good as a piece of scrap metal that could be thrown out. You are nothing. You see, just like the victims were nothing. You are the same. The citizen is the same. See, you didn't have to be one of the victims. You didn't have to care about the girls that got trafficked and enslaved. You don't have to care about them, because guess what? You are them. You are them. Because if the same people got a promotion to the White House that own the FBI, that own the police, own the DA, own the FBI, now they own you too. The rules don't apply the same to them. They're going to be pulling maneuvers that are very, very different from everybody else that preceded them. Things are going to happen different, not the same, because it's classism. You ain't up there. You're not in the private club with them. And the only time you get in that club is when you are a slave, because you don't have enough money, honey. You're a broke ass. You see, you can't even figure out how to get a goddamn $7 federal minimum wage up $1. You can't figure that out in a red state. You can't, and let's be honest. Let's just be honest. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. It is not just Democrats that are opposing this out of the goodwill of their heart, out of just being rational. You would think Democrats would oppose this shit. But looky here. I mean, it's not just Dems. It's not just Dems. Look, what is this? I mean, you have countrified folks out there. Hold on. Let me see here. Look at this. Hold on. Where is it at? Ben Marcellus actually posted some of this. Hold on. Where? 2 seconds, y'all. Where the hell are these at? Did I bring them in? Oh, here we go. I think it's here. Here we go. Here we go. These are Trump supporters that lost their jobs. Yeah. So.
No kings, no tyrants, no kings, no tyrants.
Well, when we found out that President Trump was running for president again this term, we immediately went out and bought a flag because we are huge Trump supporters. Questioning what's happening right now, obviously. Individuals started receiving notice on Monday that they were going to have an appointment for termination on Wednesday. Tuesday morning comes, and we were informed that, hey, if you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, I get to stay. And Wednesday late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9 o'clock. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore. Oh my gosh, yeah, Nathan, that's like the hardest.
Now, I know a lot of you Trump trolls out there. You guys have a habit in the chat of being like, liberal tears, liberal tears. Well, let's listen to some non-liberal tears.
Honestly, because I'm a wonderful worker. Any job that I've ever had, I feel like you should do everything unto the Lord, and I do. And to be sitting here today and know that follows me, that I was fired for performance-based in any manner. I have wonderful reviews every year of my employment. I literally just had my last review in January, and it was outstanding. when you lose an income, it's painful. You know, we've had conversations about what our future looks like. We have, as you can tell, we have a small home. But my husband and I have said if we need to downsize and get a, you know, 1-bedroom home or even a 1-bedroom apartment, we'll do whatever we have to do. But it's hard. It's wrecking. The common theme is, you know, we voted for this, you know, and our friends that didn't vote the same, you know, there's always that back and forth conversation now. It's like, you knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the...
And if you talk to trolls, Trump trolls, they would act like this woman is not real. They would say this woman is a, you know, AI video. They would say, no, that's, you know, that's not right. You know, what would you say, y'all? Trump supporters, is this woman correct or is she wrong? Is she crying tears? Is she like, what did she do that's not right? How can you get around her comment? Tell me what makes her statements illegitimate to hear. I mean, is she not a human being? Like, for me, I hear a person that's a human being. I see a family member, a mom, a wife of a veteran about to lose her home. She voted for Trump, and then she lost her job because of Trump's executive order that was held up by the Supreme Court. That's what I hear, a fellow American. Many Americans, this is their reality. So I actually feel for the lady. But that's not what Trump trolls. They don't have the same connection to her. So tell me, what do you feel about her?
The devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio Valley. Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, you know, we were excited about that because it is true. But again, I can't help but go back to the fact that what is the decisions that you're making right now solving in the big picture? It just... So the concept of voting for that again, voting for Elon Musk essentially to wreck people's lives, I can't do it. You know, we see the effects of what a decision like this can do, you know, the relapse that can take place, the lack of trust. I mean, if you can't trust your president and your vice president to do what they said they were going to do, you know, which is protect us, protect the veterans, love the veterans, support them, then it leaves you in a really ugly place in your thinking.
Well, so, you know, Trump's good friend, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? He was telling people like this that there's nothing you can do about it. We own the police. We own the DA. We own the FBI. We own the Supreme Court. That's what she was busy telling women like this, people like this, Americans, women, you know, victims. And I just have to ask myself, I mean, is it true? Like, it seems to me more true than false. And yeah, it seems more true than false. It seems like Ghislaine Maxwell was actually spitting some facts. Yeah, it's amazing. And given the fact that Trump has given her a lot of attention, a lot of special treatment, I'm inclined to believe that it's true, given the fact that the Supreme Court just allowed a president to go in there and fire people that really, you know, the Congress is supposed to be funding. Congress funded their jobs, funded their positions, voted on it by the American people, you know, collectively as a whole, according to the Constitution, according to the rules of the Constitution. Trump just went in there and axed it like that. And I have to ask myself, does he own the Supreme Court? You know, I have to ask myself that because I've never seen that in my entire life. I'm 55 years old, born and raised in the U.S. Family, both sides, goes back to the beginning of the country. But I live outside of the U.S., so I've seen how other countries structure things slightly different to their advantages, to their citizens' advantages. And I just have never seen anything like this. You know, I've never seen anything like this. So you tell me, I mean, is it something that is normal? Like, should the next president yield the same type of sword against the American people, against people like her? Should the next president do that? Should the next president come and take your job in a red state, slash it?
Federal employees is the last thing that we need. We were short-staffed to begin with. We do the important work that keeps this government functioning.
So really just kind of all of a sudden, within maybe like a day's notice, I was basically told that tomorrow is your last day of duty, based on, they say, performance, which was clearly a big lie. It's a disgrace. I almost feel like, you know, so much for serving my country all these years, we literally get slapped in the face.
This guy's a Republican. He voted for Trump. Yeah, he voted for Trump. Yeah. This family, he's a veteran too.
With no explanations as to really why we got let go. Just thousands of lives are turned upside down. Nobody really seen this coming. Even the people that did probably vote for Donald Trump. Elon Musk has basically taken over our government and has calling the shots, unfortunately.
Now, that's interesting that he says Elon Musk. And I was on this the other day, just yesterday, asking, like, do you all really think that this is a coincidence? Do you really think that this is just a coincidence? You know, a guy with big balls, that's what they call him, big balls, naturalized American citizen, only had his Twinkie, tiny toe in the United States as a citizen for not even one generation, paid pretty much for his citizenship, was actually hanging out with Maxwell, kicking it with Maxwell. You see, and a lot could be told about this picture because obviously she was infamous when this picture was taken. This picture was taken after all of the first Epstein scandal. This was after she was in the depositions alleged to have said these kind of things like, we own the police, we own the FBI, we own the DA. This is after. So, you know, I wonder where you got that idea from, that we own the police, we can own the country. Can we just buy it? Are we so powerful, this few, that we can own the United States of America? By the way, neither one of them are really Americans. Look, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's not American. Is she? But if she is, it's just the same thing. She paid for the citizenship. Elon Musk, the same, pretty much. These people have more influence over your red MAGA ass than any Native American does, than any African American does, than any Hispanic person you're throwing on a bus sending to a camp. These two people have you red state and you red state Trump supporting daddies by the balls. And they don't even like you. They could give a fuck about being patriotic. They got the money, honey. And what are you going to do about it? I mean, can you do anything about it? When they own you, when they own your Supreme Court, when they own hey, can you do anything about it? I don't think you can, to be honest. I think you're pretty fucking weak.
It seems to be. And now they're like basically denying our unemployment compensation claims. So they're starving us out at the same time. How am I going to pay my bills?
Oh, Deborah, no, that's not Photoshop. You need to get your facts straight, lady. Do some research. I actually thought myself, is this Photoshopped? Then I went and I researched it and I realized, no, everybody know about this picture. The only people that didn't know about this picture was your broke ass. Regular average Americans, people with no health care. People trying to figure out how to pay the light bill is the ones thinking it's Photoshop. The in crowd that owns the Supreme Court, they already knew about this picture. They knew about this picture long ago. You just wasn't in on the club, lady.
I feel like everybody really needs to do their homework a lot more in depth next time, come voting time, to really try to figure out who these people are deep down inside, because they fool you a lot. They get in office, they don't do the things they said they was going to do or promise the people.
These are all Republicans that lost their job, people that voted for Trump, that lost their job, because of Trump.
I'm out here today because the unlawful termination of the probationary employees here at the Bureau of the Fiscal Service is a devastating loss to our community. This is one of the only places in this area where you can get a consistent, well-paying job. So many people around here depend upon this. Families, some husbands and wives work together there. It's going to be a devastating economic loss to our community. And I'm here also because it was done under this false pretense that Donald Trump and Elon Musk and this fictitious entity Doge, this unlawful entity Doge, has any actual interest in rooting out government waste, fraud, and abuse. They're the only ones committing those things. They are the only ones committing those things. They have no capability, no actual interest in finding those things. It's a pretext for their unlawful expansion of executive power. It's destroying this country, and it's especially destroying this state and this city.
Elon Musk, he bought himself a president. He's real rich.
Catherine
and
McKinn,
he definitely is.
We are going to pay for the maggot stupidity. You're right about that.
Is running and telling Trump what to do right now. You saw that in the cabinet meeting where he was standing up and walking around and and Trump just sits there like this. So Trump Elon Musk bought a president. He bought the presidency of the United States, and now he's going to destroy us.
Because I love my country, and I think this has been one of the biggest threats it's ever faced. What with illegal firings and problems in having the rule of law. And
these are
possibly a president.
For those of you all that's just coming in the chat, these are Republicans, people who voted for Trump. And these are serious Trump supporters. They've been supporting Trump for a while, and on top of it, been Republican for a while. But they don't like Trump anymore. And they're saying why they don't.
Who thinks he doesn't have to listen to the decisions of judges?
Vote them out! 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 Vote them out!
Right. So somebody said, I see plenty of workers not doing any work. Well, when was the last time you seen this woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, doing some work? But she's more important than you. You're nothing. Stephen Paul, you are nobody compared to Ghislaine Maxwell. You don't even get in the club. You get no special treatment at all. Ghislaine Maxwell, all she have to do is pimp your daughter out, and she's more important than you. Like, facts, straight up. That's the world we living in here, and we're living in the world where people like her and Elon Musk go to little parties and discuss the fate over broke asses, over Americans who don't take their vote seriously. Americans who are so stupid they don't think they should be able to afford an education. They don't think they should. They think they need to pay more than everybody else in the Western world for healthcare. Pay more than everybody else in the Western world for education. Yet the rest of the Western world has figured out how to do by their citizens in a nationalistic manner, in a proud manner. Yet the USA hasn't. Where the fuck is the pride of Americans? Where's the nationalism when it comes to education? Where's the nationalism when it comes, that nationalist spirit when it comes to healthcare? Where's that nationalist spirit when it comes to a fair wage? There isn't. It's a hoax. Most of you people that carry that flag around and supported Trump, you guys are living in a delusion in a world where you are owned. Your ass is a slave to people like this. And even if they told you flat out to your face, like seriously, even if they told you straight up to your face, we own the police, We own the DA. We own the FBI. We own the Supreme Court. We own Pam Bondi. We own Cash Patel. You still be too stupid to realize it. I mean, really, that's the world we're living in. You know, and, you know, I really, really don't give a damn if you come out of it, because I don't live in the U.S., so my taxes don't go to this shit. You know what I'm saying? But your taxes do. Your taxes do. And we're going to talk about where your taxes go. Your taxes go to who? Ghislaine Maxwell getting a pardon. She got the eye of the president more than you do. Your community, Donald J. Trump doesn't give a fuck about. He gives a damn hell a lot about her. You know, hey, I wish her well. I wish her well. You know, yeah, we know you wish her well. God damn it, you better wish her well, or those secrets are going to start leaking out. Now, there's been some depositions, or there's been a call for Congress, you know, some hearings where they say they want to get the Clintons, you know, to testify. They want to get others to testify about the, you know, about the files and what you knew. What did you know? What did you know? You know. And here's one of the pictures that's been circulating. I know this is really going to get the maggots' blood going. Like, come on, maggots, where y'all at? Come on, y'all. You ready? Rah, rah. Now, here for you all. Here's your proof. Bing. Bill Clinton must have done something. I told you. Bill Clinton. There he is. There he is with the girl. I told you. He's on Epstein's with Epstein and he's getting a massage. I told you he was down with it. Yeah, they're calling. They're so scared that they're doing anything as a distraction to stop people from remembering Elon Musk and Ghislaine Maxwell, right? To stop people from remembering what Ghislaine Maxwell was telling her victims. We own the police. We own the DA. We own the FBI. To distract from that. To distract from Trump about to give this lady a pardon, from Trump giving her preferential treatment. They're doing anything to distract from that. To distract from the fact that Trump became president and his first initiative was to lock up Epstein, and Epstein died in prison. And you never heard another thing. Right. So they pull out the classic Clinton, Obama, anything. You know, they're so desperate. They're so desperate. But, you know, this woman actually spoke about Clinton, you know, and let's see what she had to say.
Here's what's unfolding. What's the simmering conflict? Trump and Johnson versus...
Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Where is it at? Is it here?
Chaunté Davies, the woman pictured giving Bill Clinton a neck massage during a 2002 flight stop en route to Africa on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, later publicly addressed the photo, stating she'd seen absolutely no foul play involving him and that he was a perfect gentleman during the trip. Site turn search 5 turn search 11 none.
So this picture, the woman has already publicly talked about this so many times. And publicly, she said there was nothing to it. Bill Clinton was actually a gentleman, and it's actually Ghislaine Maxwell that requested she give him a massage after he was complaining himself. He didn't ask her to give a massage, according to her. And she said this several times. So this is why Trump and them, they never really wanted to approach this before. They never went after this in his first administration. He knew about this in the first administration, but he didn't want to go after Clinton because it was already out that the woman herself said, no, actually, Clinton's not one of them. Right? Listen, take a listen.
In more detail, Davies said the encounter was prompted when Clinton complained of a stiff neck, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who was present, encouraged her to give a massage. According to Davies, Clinton then asked, would you mind giving it a crack? Site turn search 7 turn search 5 turn search 4. After the photo emerged, she told Daily Mail, although the image looks bizarre, President Clinton was a perfect gentleman during the trip and I saw absolutely no foul play involving him. She described him as charming and sweet, and said she felt he was gracious throughout the situation. Site search, 5 turn search, 11 turn search, 0. Davies has not accused Clinton of any wrongdoing, instead describing the interaction as awkward but entirely innocent, with no inappropriate conduct implied or witnessed. If you were referring to a different deposition...
There it is. The woman, she actually made many public comments. It's not even the only one. She was featured in so many different magazines, right? But this is why Trump, he never did anything about the Epstein files when he was president, because he knows that already. Just like he knew he was all up inside of the files. You see what I mean? But he didn't have the lackeys. He didn't have the Heil Hitler type that would just follow him instead of follow the Constitution, that would go out there and commit crimes for him, commit crimes against the American people, like hide his name, things like this. He didn't have that opportunity before, so he didn't want to hype it up. He didn't want to hype up the Epstein thing before. He actually played it down, totally down. And so, you know, they're calling the Clintons because they want to hear Hillary Clinton say, no, actually, I never drank blood of babies on Epstein Island. In fact, I was never there, something like that. And they want Clinton to say, sorry, you didn't hear Davis's own words already saying that I'm not even involved in this. Essentially, that's what she's saying. Now, they use that picture and they use it against a lot of people. Now, here's the thing. You didn't hear Clinton saying, don't release the Epstein files. You don't hear them saying that. But the right wing, you know, particularly MAGA folks and particularly people tied to the hip to Trump, they're saying that because they know that there's deeper crimes in there. Espionage, for one. There's more people tied to sleeping with minors, raping minors, and espionage. So this is what they don't want to come out. And this is why Trump is losing his mind about the upcoming elections, which is where the gerrymandering comes in to play, essentially.
Seats in Congress. And we have an opportunity in Texas to pick up 5 seats. We have a really good governor, and we have good people in Texas. And I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
Just like that, we're entitled to 5 more seats. Donald Trump has basically ordered Texas Republicans to redraw their congressional map to yield 5 more Republican seats before next year's midterms. Those Republican lawmakers are doing it. They're not even trying to hide how shady it is. They're essentially redrawing the map to create 5 more Republican districts in Texas, which means 5 more Republican congresspeople in Washington, D.C.
The proposed plan redraws, and I want everybody to know this, 37 of the 38 congressional districts to some degree. The primary changes, though, are focused on 5 districts for partisan purposes. These districts were drawn primarily using political performance. Each of these newly drawn districts now trend Republican in political performance.
5 new trending Republican districts. This is why Democrats in the Texas State House have fled to Illinois in an attempt to delay this scheme, and why national Democrats are beginning to realize it's time to use the power of their majorities in huge blue states to fight fire with fire. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, was in the state legislature 4 years ago when she and other Democrats...
Now, put a 1 in the chat if you think Democrats should gerrymander. Put a 1 in the chat. I want to see who's real, who's not real, you know, where the bots are, who the real human beings are, this kind of thing. Also, I want to know everybody's opinion. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Democrats should gerrymander, should do the same. Should they create new districts to minimize Republican to minimize Republican voices? Should they do the same thing that is being done or that's being proposed or requested by Trump? And see, this is the crazy thing. It's Trump who requested it. It's not them the people who just thought this up themselves. It's Trump. Trump is not from Texas. Trump's a billionaire. Trump's already raided these people's treasury, and so he's about to raid the Social Security too. So, but he's like, looking down saying pretty much you better do this or this is your ass, because if I don't control the Congress, I'm going to jail along with Ghislaine Maxwell. She's going to spit those secrets out. Like, it's one or the other. Either Ghislaine Maxwell gets a pardon from Trump, which she will, which will piss off the American people, which will mean the American people won't vote for Trump or anyone that supported Trump in the midterm elections, or it's the other way. So Trump is in a conundrum. All of this activity is about Ghislaine Maxwell. It's true. All the gerrymandering is about her. It's about her. This man wants to save her. He doesn't give a goddamn about your Republican ass or your mama and daddy's Republican ass. He doesn't give a damn about them. Y'all just regular folk, if you're even that. He doesn't give a damn about any trail or trash. He doesn't. Even if you voted for him, he cares about his princess. And that's Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, okay, I see a lot of people now. If you are a Republican, if you vote for Trump, if you're a Trump supporter, put a 1 in the chat if you think Democrats should gerrymander. Put a 1 in the chat. Only if you're a Republican. Everybody else don't say anything. Only Republicans now. Only Trump supporters. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Democrats should gerrymander. I'm going to wait. I want to see. I don't see any 1s from Republicans yet. Wonder what that's about. Steve, what you think, Steve? Come on now. Let's get it going. I haven't seen any 1s. What the hell is up with that? Okay, so Republicans don't seem to want Democrats to gerrymander. That's interesting, but they support gerrymandering in Texas. That's ill. That's called hypocritical. So let's play on.
Democratic members left the state to try to prevent new Republican voting restrictions. She joins me now. It's how we got to know you, really. You were Texas State legislator Jasmine Crockett. This is wild. They're not sugarcoating this at all. They're telling you what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Oh, look at this. Look, Brett. What did Braden say? Who the hell? Well, hold on. Is it Breladine said you asked about gerrymandering, not redistricting? I'm asking about either one. Okay, get to it. Answer the question. Stop trying to flip the script. 1, if you support either, or and if you don't, then don't say anything. But so far, none of those Trump trolls put a 1 in the chat, because they do not want Democrat control, Democrat majority states redistricting to make sure Republicans have less representation in Congress and in the Senate. They don't want that. It's called gerrymandering. To be honest, I don't know why you don't know that. But yeah, because obviously that's against the connotation is that it's against the Constitution. You probably didn't know that either. But here we go.
Oh, I mean, they are trying to sugarcoat it a little bit. You just played a clip of Representative Hunter, and I was there when he was giving those remarks. And when asked by another colleague whether or not they were doing this at the prompting of the Department of Justice, at the prompting of Donald Trump, he said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And they were like, but you do realize that Donald Trump said he wanted 5 seats, and this map gives him 5 seats. He's like,
right, this is ridiculous. That's the thing about it. These people, they don't even realize, they forget it started here.
Pick up 5 seats. We have a really good governor, and we have good people in Texas. And I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
There it is. So this is not Texans saying, hey, you know what? We have an issue in Texas where the voting is unfair to certain people and we want to fix it. This is not Texans saying that. This is Trump saying it while he's about to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell because he wants to watch his back, because he knows he can't have it both ways. So he's anticipating losing votes and anybody connected with him on the congressional level. They're anticipating, because they stood by Trump with this pardon. They stood by Trump the entire time, even what, they're not even trying to release the Epstein files. This is the thing about it. Republicans don't want the Epstein files released. And they came in and they said, day one, we're going to release it. Day one, Kash Patel. Remember Kash Patel, the FBI director, that guy? He said day one, they talked about this. Pam Bondi, it's the president's initiative. We're going to release it. Right? No, they're not, because they know what's in it. And this is what Trump is afraid of. This is what Republicans are afraid of. They're afraid. See, I'm starting to understand a little bit deeper why Biden was not panicking. Because in a way, those people that really, really, really lust for power and are willing to do anything for power, even trafficking, among other things, when you get power, you realize all the little dirty secrets that are in the cabinet, that are in the files, are all about you. And what you going to do about them? Nothing. Ain't going to do nothing about them at all. And I think we're having a come to Jesus moment right now for these Republicans. Like, they don't want these files released, and it's not going to get released. And that's just the cold fact of it. It's just not going to be happening. It's just not going to be happening. Not anytime soon. 2 seconds. Let me get this prepped up here.
Confirmed that the Justice Department is considering releasing the audio and/or the transcript of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. That's according to an official familiar with the matter. Joining us now, MSNBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delanian, NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles, and MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin. Ken, tell us more about your reporting.
Good afternoon, Chris. Well, as everyone recalls, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell over 9 hours, over 2 days last month, and it was unclear exactly what he asked her and what came of that interview. But now we understand that the Justice Department has crafted a transcript. First of all, they recorded that interview. They're making a transcript of that interview, and they are now considering releasing it to the public with redactions of names and other sensitive information. And this, of course, is...
So the common theme with redactions, I mean, where else on earth do you have a woman who has helped the most prolific sex trafficker, who conspired with, who is basically the most prolific sex trafficker of the U.S.? Where else do you have a president bending the knee? What else could it be? And there's still, all of these shenanigans. Look, they went and interviewed her as to preempt any release of any Epstein files. The public said they wanted the release of the Epstein files. And what did they do? Everything else. Let's go interview the most prolific sex trafficker alive, Ghislaine Maxwell, and let's give her a nice cushy cell to sit in rather than the already cushy one, right? Let's give her a more cushy one. What else did they do? They want to have a congressional hearing where they invite Hillary Clinton and Trump, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, and Comey, to talk about what they knew about the Epstein files. Everything else, nobody asked for all of that. People said release the files, and they're doing everything else. Now, I don't need to hear anything redacted. They're never going to release this, by the way. I'm just telling you, they're never going to release this. First of all, everything about it is unheard of. It's unheard of to have a deputy of the DOJ bend the knee to a sex trafficker involved in espionage who didn't even testify at their own trial, refused to take the stand, and was charged with perjury for lying already. She didn't get prosecuted for it, but she was charged with it. But they didn't have to prosecute her for it because they had everything else. So actually, this is ridiculous. You can't expect that you're going to learn much from. What are you going to learn? That a convicted sex trafficker will lie? Yeah, that's all you're going to learn. And they will redact it, hide parts of it. Are you going to learn that, a deputy from the DOJ, and let alone a deputy under Pam Bondi? Pam Bondi was working for the DA in Florida that prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein the first time. What you think you're going to get from these people? Again, you're looking at your queen right here. This is the queen of MAGA. Ghislaine Maxwell is the queen of MAGA. You better get it straight. All that you are living, all that you are doing, Trumpsters, Republicans, is on her behalf. None of it is to get education in Texas. None of it is to get flood warning equipment in Texas. None of it is to get the federal minimum wage raised above $7 an hour. None of it's for that. None of it is for you people. None of it is to make sure that, this veteran, these people right here that voted for Trump, that talked about how unfair it was that they lost their jobs, that they were fired because of an executive order the Supreme Court should have shot down. None of this shit is for any of y'all folk in that video. See, it's all for her. This is who you are. This is you. Take a good look at it. Look in the mirror. This is you. You may as well be a sex trafficker yourself, Trumpsters, Republicans. You may as well be sex trafficking Kabbalah ring yourself, committing espionage against the United States of America. This is you. This is you. You got to own this. Suck it up. Enjoy the ride, because it's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a wild one. Yeah. Anyway, I've done just basically about an hour. There's more. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do 2 hours tomorrow, y'all. And I mean it, seriously. I'm doing 2 hours tomorrow. I'm going in because this ain't even half of the shit I prepared. But again, I only had 1 hour to a little bit. I got an hour, maybe a couple of minutes, But yeah, it's been busy for me for a minute. But let me throw something up on the screen. For those of y'all that don't know, you can check out my LP. It's right here. If y'all can see that on the screen, it's called Love in Madness, Empirical. You can Google that, right? It's on all streaming platforms, on YouTube, Spotify. Go check it out. Let me know what you think about it. That's if you're into soul, hip hop, soul, jazzy kind of flavor, intellectual rhymes, but not too harsh and abrupt, smooth. You know what I'm saying? Smooth, chill, laid back. It's also got something for the ladies in there. It's got something for the people that want to stand up against tyranny. It's got something for everybody. It's got something for the fools, for people that not the fools, but the people that are tired of the fools in the rap game. A lot of this rap shit is always about gangster this and gangster that. It's got something for y'all in there also. And I'm sure you'll like it if you're into those kind of vibes and if you're into that kind of energy. On another note, I'm out for the day. I appreciate everybody for coming out. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It's so important because, when I'm on different, I could be on my laptop or I could be on my other mobile device, and maybe the signals don't work the same way in the algorithm. So the more of you that subscribe, the easier it is for you to get the notifications. And that will help you come out. Even the trolls. It will even help the trolls, so y'all can come out and hate on a brother anyway, a fellow American whose family goes back to the beginning of the country. Y'all can hate on me. By the way, I only come out to try to give my perspective. And my perspective is I really do love my country. but I've lived outside of my country, so I can see also from that perspective what we really do have that's special that other people don't have. But I'm afraid a lot of Americans that never get a chance to travel more than a week or two don't really get to understand what that special thing is about the U.S. So I'm here to bridge the gap and try to make it a little bit easier for folks. On that note, I'm going to see y'all later. I'll be out, and everybody have a good rest of your day, and take care of your families and your loved ones and your communities, and see what you can do to get by these harsh times, yo. Peace. I'm out, y'all.
They want war. Crying babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe. People subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day in every clue. Don't let it go. It's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep. Leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and I feel we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die. You voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Every tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep it low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers, cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack, and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in a way that's subtle. If you stop the machines for a minute, you might hear, but they won't, cause the TVs whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't tear, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't steer. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War,